What's up guys, and welcome back to WBC Builds, and welcome to my Grimstone showcase video. So most of you will already know Grimstone is a new block that's been added to the game as part of the snapshot for 1.17 that came out this week, and straight away I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to use it for. No, it's not this throne, ignore this failed attempt at a throne, but still, the family of Grimstone is here in front of me. So we have, from left to right, normal Grimstone, we've got polished Grimstone, Grimstone bricks, Grimstone tiles, and a lonesome Grimstone chiseled block. Now, to anyone that doesn't know, these are found in the new cave generations, and I won't really go into too much more detail about them because this is just going to be a video showcasing the uses within the sort of Victorian and Georgian styles. So you can see behind me I have started building some stuff. Let's go take a look at that and let me showcase my first thoughts. Now for me, I instantly knew I was going to be making roofs out of it. So let me show you something here. This on the left hand side is the blocks that are available to us in 1.16. You can see here I've used Blackstone, a mixture of Blackstone bricks, polished Blackstone, the works, to form the roof for this building here. Now over here I have actually started using Grimstone, again textured a little bit there with some Grimstone bricks and normal Grimstone, and I actually prefer the colour of it. Now with these buildings, these are some Georgian townhouses that I built recently for my weekly build challenge, and the roofs on them are made of slate. Now what you can use slate for is, you can use stone bricks and the works really, but Grimstone gives it a darker texture that just works a little bit better than Blackstone. Don't get me wrong, Blackstone roofs are nice, Blackstone roofs are good, and when they came out at 1.16 it was cool, it was interesting, it was something different. But I think they may be surpassed now by Grimstone. Now my main gripes with it, and I will show you over here, is the shininess of the tiles. Now I understand these blocks have not been designed for my usage in townhouses, but to me I think the tiles would not be very useful. Unless you're building bathrooms of quite a modern taste. You can see here I have replaced what was a sort of grey fronted Georgian building where I've used acacia logs. I probably should have put round the other way to form a sort of brick pattern. The grey there is nice, that's a good looking grey. But over here I've used tiles. Now these tiles are too shiny, they're too shiny, and they're a bit too black. So I reckon with a texture pack change where you take off the shininess, it may work. It may be something. I don't know. These, like I said, are my first thoughts, and I think with some work, with some texture changes, it could make for really nice, interesting black bricks that could help fuel some more sort of Georgian and Victorian builds. So this video is mainly going to be me talking about roofs and being quite excited. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. This looks good. It does look a bit shiny, but it looks better than it could be. So what you can see here as well is I've done a few other little changes. I've tried to use some lightning rods as drain pipes, where it's replacing the sort of walls that I've used over here. Sorry, fences. Again, could work. You could also probably get out some new of these polished. Yeah, maybe that as well actually then. Polished. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Polished walls. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. Could work indeed. So a few other little things that I've done with the new blocks is the calcite. This is cool. Now for me it screams stucco. So a stucco is a sort of painted textured rendering on the outside of buildings, and I think that works quite nicely for that. So you can see here I've mixed it in with some white concrete powder, and it sort of dulls down the harshness of it. This texture is a little bit much, but again, it doesn't really matter. It can be updated throughout time, and I've gone for it over there on top of these. I keep trying to press C to use Optifine. It doesn't exist because I think this is here now. So let me zoom in with that. You can see here I have used that now. This I don't like the spyglass. Okay, well moving on from that, I have used a few of these other blocks in the ground here. This is tough. No, the name, not the actual texturing of it, and it could work for paths. I've done a few more of these around the place, but that is pretty much what I've done for these townhouses. I think the upgrade in the roofs is worth doing. So we move on around the corner here. I've got a few more dioramas set up. Yeah, this was an attempt to make a road. You can see how these blocks texture quite nicely with those when you're working towards like a gradient, but I wasn't sure how that would look as a sort of path or a road. I've also used a bit of basalt in here to texture it up a little bit more. Take this as you will. This is an idea that you guys could use for something. I'm sure you're more creative than I when it comes to doing stuff like that. Now not only this, look at that, the moss. Now moss works really nicely when texturing a bit of grass, but you guys probably already know that because you've been playing around with this update a lot longer than I have. So we're going to move on down the street here to a couple of houses where I've set up a similar idea. So you can see here on the right we have Blackstone, just polished Blackstone roofs here, and it works, but it does feel quite heavy, especially up against the bricks. Bricks and black kind of go well together. But if we go on over here to the second sort of house, Grimstone does work a bit better. Again, a bit too shiny for my tastes. It looks like the underside of a spaceship, and I couldn't decide whether I preferred normal Grimstone or Grimstone bricks to this. So let's take a look around the back. You can see here I've used just ordinary Grimstone. Does feel a bit like slate. Ignore that hole there, but still, it needs some work, I believe. But you guys are probably already quite excited about it just because it's a new colour, a new family of bricks. But also look at these azaleas. I think these are so cute. And the rooted dirt as well, and a bit of moss on the carpet. This stuff is what this game's been needing for a while, and I really cannot wait to start using that properly. So we're going to move on from here. Oh, actually, there's some other little details I've done. So you know how you have dry stone walls, and before I was using cobblestone in them, didn't really like the texture of cobblestone. I'm sorry, cobblestone. But I think tuff works nicely up against a bit of coral, and maybe even a bit of gravel I've thrown in somewhere as well. So that works quite nicely as a sort of low brick wall. And then in the background there, you can see I've used the new dripstone block as a sort of panelling. So on the other house over here, I was using spruce logs, maybe even dark oak logs, as a sort of panelling on the side of the shed. And over here, that kind of does a similar thing. I don't know. I got nothing. Right, we've got one more diorama to go look at. Let's jump on over to that. Okay, so we're back out here on the main road, and we're coming down to a couple of houses that I've done especially for this. And the first little detail is this. So it's a lamppost. It's a very grey lamppost. I like the way Grimstone textures nicely, well not even textures, complements, goes with the texture for all of the iron sort of equipment. So we've got the anvil down here, and then we've got the hoppers up here. Now this has been made by using the new hardened glass, so it looks a bit darker, a bit more smokier, like you've got some gas candles burning in here, although gas really shouldn't be producing smoke like that. Yeah, I don't know, another idea, you guys come up with whatever you wish, but what you can see to my right is a beautiful American Victorian Second Empire house. Now, I have built this twice. Don't look at that. This one is possibly my favourite iteration of it. So you've got the normal Grimstone up here, which forms a nice sort of shingling texture on the roof for tiles. Maybe even mixed in with some basalt like I've done here, because they've both got a sort of bluey texture to them, bluey grey. Very, very nice. I think this offsets very well with the quartz, and to be honest, it would become one of my main building blocks for roofs. I should have labelled this video, this is a roof showcase, nothing else really, but still. That goes very well with the birch on it, and if you come around the back you can see here as well, it does texture quite nicely with everything. So this house is very nice, and I think it does complement very well with the new Grimstone. Now, in doing so, I built a second house, like I mentioned. This is the Grimstone Manor, and it exists because I saw this picture online. This is a house that has been painted black. The bricks used to be just a normal brick colour, but in recent years they've seemed to have painted it black. And as soon as I saw this on Pinterest, I went, let's build it with the new Grimstone, and I really, really shouldn't have done so, but here it is. Here is the house that I fear is the ugliest thing I've ever built. Little side note, I did originally build it out of the tiles, so let's have a quick little look and see what that looks like as well. And yes, I say, cover your eyes, this isn't pretty. That's as far as I can go with that before I start being violently sick. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it works as an exterior brick yet for detailing walls. But roofs are definitely a yes. Just look at that. Look at that little image there, lovely. And then on this one, I've done the roof out of andesite just to sort of make it a little bit different. Still, I think the shape of the house works, just not the blocks used in it. So guys, this has been probably my quick little sort of video on my first thoughts on the uses of Grimstone in the game. So a quick little wrap up. I think there is definitely scope for usage, but it needs to really be a little bit retextured. To me, it seems too shiny for stuff. I think if they dulled it down to the sort of level of tough or andesite, perfect. Absolutely perfect. But right now, it feels a little bit shiny, a little bit modern, but that is just me because, you know me, I only build Victorian houses. So anyway guys, let me know what sort of ideas you have in the comments below. Let me know if you've enjoyed this type of video. I can do some more on the snapshots as they come out throughout the year. I am planning on doing a larger building ideas for 1.17 when it comes out later this year, I hope. So still, thank you guys for watching, and remember, get inspired, get building, and I'll see you next time.